You're most welcome to my YouTube laboratory. My name is Daudi Alaba. If it's your first time watching me, we practically share our experience about farming. Today in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some few factors. Actually, I call them the basic necessities that you should consider before you start doing poultry farming. Why I have decided to bring this video forth is I do farming for people who are not within the country. I do farming for myself and also for other people as well. And whenever that they call me so that they could learn some few things from me, I always realize that they miss what is the basic and they always focus on what is actually not needed in whatever that they want to do. So in this video, I want to make it clear to everybody who watches me in this particular video that there are things that you cannot skip, you cannot avoid, and they are the basic necessities. So considering them in the beginning actually is the thing that makes everything to move so smoothly. I'll start by telling you that before actually everything starts to happen, the number one thing that you should have is a plan. Why do you need to have a plan? A plan is like a roadmap that takes you from one place to another place. And I always see people, they just watch YouTube videos, they learn from their other friends, they just come with the idea that I want to do poultry farming. And while they want to do poultry farming, they don't actually have a plan of which type of poultry farming I need to do, where exactly what they need for them to really do poultry farming. They don't plan for that. They just come with the idea, I want to build a chicken house, and you need land. Land is one thing that you cannot avoid, especially like look at the chicken house that you have just constructed. It is constructed on a land that we newly acquired within this area here, and it is a huge land. Why we acquired it larger, I was telling you in my previous video that this is a place that actually where we're doing expansion of a farm which is located in a central region of the country. So it means in the central the land is very small, and why we have decided to expand here is because the plan is so big. We are planning to really take this one into the next level, having very huge chicken houses and very many of them at the same time. So it means that comes as an aspect of the plan. So why you should first have a land is because land is one of the factors for the production. Without land, it means production still remains meaningless. And then considering having a land is very, very important. There are people who start farms when they don't have land, especially me, myself. I don't have land up to now. I haven't acquired any land for myself. I borrowed land from my uncle. So borrowing land is very, very important. But you may not know exactly like who I do have. So it means there are people you can borrow land from. Like we have built this huge chicken house and the owner of the land doesn't have idea of something like this, and you're going to be getting money from here which the owner is not going to be able to get. And don't you expect jealous to come in, because most people are so jealous. They never love to see other people grow, and it happens for you to have a jealous friend or maybe uncle, let us say. You borrow land from, and then at the end of the day, just 2 years from that time, he asks you to leave his land because you are getting too much and he has already grown jealousy. How can you remove a chicken house which costs you a lot of money like this? Where are you going to take your chicken, which is still 31 weeks in production, and it is supposed to stay up to 100 weeks? So where are you going to keep the chicken? So that's why I ask you to first prepare yourself mentally, very properly when it comes to the aspect of land. Because you may land into somebody, in the beginning may be a friend, and you never know what may come later. So I will advise, if you are planning, so be very careful about that. And I will advise best, there are places where the land is very cheap. I do have one. In the laboratory, we also deal with people, we connect good farmers to the places where the land is still very cheap, exactly like this. This land is about 16 acres, and then we just bought it very cheap, very, very cheap. That's why we have rapid expansion this side here. So in case you need one, you can also contact me as Daudi Alaba. Second one is actual water. This is where most of the problem come. Somebody is planning to start 2,000 birds, 2,000 layers. and the person actually doesn't have any idea of where the chicken are going to drink water. My place doesn't have water, but I'm lucky that just around we have borehole that is connected within the community, and I'm going to bring water here very soon. Why I talk about water? Chicken, they are dominantly depending on water. They take a lot of water. Let me tell you, 200 layers is going to drink 50 jerrycans. 50 jerrycan is, okay, one jerrycan is 20 liters. Multiply 20 by 50 every day. Where are you going to collect that water from? Even if you have very many workers, it is still going to be very difficult and challenging for you to really gather all that water so that your chicken can drink out of it. So people normally forget that chicken can drink water, and then they just focus on things that actually doesn't matter, like the house for the workers, what the workers are going to eat. No, it is not business for the workers. It is poultry business. You first need to focus on first things. Workers things is whatever that you can come later. Like we don't have workers house here. What we have is the chicken house. By the time we have the chicken running here, it will be easier for us to construct workers house, which of course is going to be here. This is the place where we are going to have the house for the workers. So it is not a necessity, and it is not what is supposed to be must for now, because within 1 or 2 months we can still be sleeping here because we'll be brooding the chicks. So I just want you to take it so seriously from me, because this is something that I've experienced, and there are also places where you can borrow water, like from your neighbor. It is the same thing exactly like what it can happen with the land. So your neighbor will come in the morning and then cut off the water. Your chicken are not going to take water that morning. You just wait for 2 or 3 days. That's when you start to realize the chicken are dying because they're thirsty. They are not drinking water. And obviously, if it is layers, if they are not drinking water for 1 day, tomorrow don't actually go with the trays to collect eggs from the chicken house. And the third thing that you should also focus is actually the labor. People underrate the power of great team. There is no NF poultry farmer who can become successful when he is not a successful business person. We have the best workers ever in this world. I have my farm, which I can visit maybe after 5 months. And the farm runs very successful. Why? Because I have the best workers. Are those people the best people in the world? No. What I call leadership is what makes me to become successful. Because I learned one thing. There is a way that you can do things by your own, and it will reach a certain stage whereby yourself is not sufficient for you to go to the next level. You need other people. We call it leverage. When it comes to leverage, it means it is maximum return with minimum effort. It means you need other people's effort to be collected together. It's better for me to earn 1% of 100 people's effort than earning 100% of my own effort, said by John D. Rockefeller. And the fourth thing that you need to really consider is the feed. And to very many people, it is what kills them the most. So when it comes to the feed, chicken feed, they are living things. They need to eat feed. Not only the feed, but very good quality feed. That is what I am known for. When you happen to go and start poultry farming, feed must be one thing that you should always put on your fingertip. You should know what chicken eat. Do they eat maize? Do they eat rice? You just get to know what exact chicken eats. Let us talk about layers. Layers, they stay up to 18 or maybe more than 18 weeks. So by the time they reach 18th week, okay, by the time they reach like 7th or 10th week, the feed that the owner prepared is completely over. And then the owner starts to gamble. The owner starts to struggle. What can I do? Where should I borrow money from? Who can I get help from? So they start to struggle with the aspect of it. Let me tell you one thing. When you are at the lowest point of yourself, that's the very time that you will know that you are the only person who exists in this world. Because all your friends will disappear. You will never find all those friends who were gathering around you when you have something, when you are at the lowest point of yourself. So when it comes to the poultry, I don't advise you to actually go and look for your friends to borrow for you money. Most of the times, you're going to find them having problems which are bigger than yours. And by the time you're not feeding your chicken for about 1 or 2 weeks, they will be dead. They will never survive. And if you try to buy something cheaper so that you can cut on the cost of the feed, that's when you realize that it is more expensive, especially We are feeding your chicken layers with very poor quality feed. What are they going to give you? They will never lay for you. You give them anything useless, they will just eat it and then they survive. They will never lay. There is nothing that I'm panicking any single day. I'm so confident. Why? Because it is a risk. What is called a risk? A risk is something that you don't know. If you don't know anything, that is where it is called risk. And for us, we don't just invest. We take calculated risk. It is all from our brain that makes us succeed. It's not the amount of money that we have. And that's why you should cut your coat according to your size. Don't just start something because I see people doing this, I see somebody starting that. It's not just a matter of seeing somebody doing it great and then you feel like you can also do it better. No, it's not that kind of comparison. Well, the fifth basic thing that you need is actually the necessities. This one comes into my notice where people call me to come and handle problems. What I call necessities, it can be the drinkers, the feeders, the whatever, the chicks themselves. I call them all necessities. They are those categories. So when it comes to necessities, people always make mistakes, a lot of mistakes here. They don't know which type of system they are going to use for water. They don't know what type of system they are going to use, like depleter or maybe battery cage. They don't know. They just start everything like that. And worst comes when it is selection of the breed that they want. Especially we're talking about layers. Somebody is selecting a layers and is going to buy the sasso. They are local birds which are upgraded to lay. They also lay good. They don't lay so badly. But somebody is getting it knowing that Daudi Alaba hit up to 95% in production. And for you are getting sasso, which is going to give you the best of 70 or maybe 75. So you want to compete with me. And you want to tell me that somebody bewitched you because your chicken are not laying up to date. It is not. Necessities consider so much about the layers. Talk about the best breeds, which I also happen to supply within my laboratory. One of the best breed within the country, Uganda currently, is called Lomond Brown. They lay up to 97%. You may not imagine. Lomond Brown, I happen to sell them in case you are looking for what to do and you happen to look for layers. Daudi Alaba stands for you. If you want to order, if your plan is there, do it now. Cheat me on my WhatsApp contact. I will always do for you the best deal. The chicken house. Chicken house is another different structure. Though it is called, actually it's supposed to be called chicken coop. I don't know what exactly a chicken house is supposed to be called in science. I think I must have forgotten. And when it comes to the chicken house, which we can obviously say, it is something that can be done so seriously and very carefully. There is a way that I always see people, they just put their sitting room and then they bring their chicks there, they raise it. It is okay for small scale. But when it comes to business line, when it comes to business aspect, I think that is just a very big mistake that you can do. It's this thing of poultry, don't just do it for hobby because it is expensive. Even if you are doing it for hobby, chicken will need to eat food, and you cannot play with the chicken. Let us play, let us not eat food today. No, they will need to eat food for that day, and then because they're eating food, it means that the whole thing becomes very expensive. So as we talk about the chicken house, it means if you don't build it properly, it can ruin your farm completely. And it will ruin it in such a way that you build the chicken house wrongly. Every time it rains, water is inside. It will cause for you coccidiosis. It will cause for you ammonia. Your birds are not going to be laying. And thieves maybe can even steal. Because for me, in my chicken house, I put the chain link all around. And then the house is properly built. This is the new iron seats. I don't want to compromise and gamble with it. It means I have seen people, they go and buy scrap to construct the chicken houses, and such chicken houses never last. So just do something which you think it is in business sense. Don't just try and struggle with it, because the struggles will never make you happy any at all. Because I see very many farmers that are running away from the project, feeling that it is very expensive and they are not getting any money. If you refuse to invest wisely, where do you expect to get money? Nothing for nothing, something for something. What do you want? You want miracle to happen from God? That is very wrong. Do something. God has already blessed us. I think we are so much blessed. So we cannot just blame God for anything. Because if you feel like God should stop rain from entering your chicken house, I think you are the problem. It's nothing else. This farm is not mine. This farm belongs to one of the person who watches me in Labrador. He has never seen me. I've never been in contact with him, but we are doing business together, and this is what Africa needs for now. Africa needs people to really come together, and then we start to solve African problems jointly. And without that, we'll never see Africa grow. And by the time we change our mindsets to see Africa and we start to love it as our own motherland, we start to contribute together. Doesn't matter whether you are within the country or whether you are outside the country, it is still our motherland. We need to come back and then settle our brains so that we can start to do things which can also bring the development that you have ever seen in other places, because I don't think running away from a problem can solve it. And it is only us who can solve African problems. Nothing else. Nobody. It's only Africans who can only solve African problems. And if you have watched me up to this far, thank you so much for supporting my laboratory. We rise by lifting other people, and then we'll continue to support each other until we see Africa start to develop. Let us see you in the next video. Bye-bye.